The wind rolled softly over the golden fields of Montana, carrying with it the scent of wild lavender and dust from the ranch road that led to a life she had sworn she'd never touch again. Evelyn Hart sat in the old bus, her fingers wrapped tightly around a worn leather bag that held everything she owned. She wasn't running anymore. At least, that's what she told herself. But deep down, she knew the truth. She was escaping from a past that had broken her in ways no one could see. The whispers, the doctor's cold words, the man who left her the moment she confessed she couldn't have children. All of it lived inside her like a scar that refused to fade. The bus hissed to a stop at the edge of Willow Creek, a small countryside town where life moved slow and hearts healed quietly. She stepped down, her boots crunching the gravel beneath her, her eyes tracing the endless green pastures. Somewhere among those rolling hills, a man named Luke Turner was waiting for a housekeeper, a widower rancher, they said, with 3 children and a heart buried under work and grief. She wasn't looking for connection, not anymore, but she needed the job, and perhaps, in the silence of open land, she could remember what peace felt like. Luke Turner was already waiting at the gate when she arrived. Tall, broad-shouldered, with eyes like the storm before rain, calm yet carrying weight. His hat shaded his face, but his voice carried warmth when he said, "You must be Miss Hart. Welcome to Turner Ranch." She nodded, avoiding his gaze, mumbling a soft, "Thank you, Mr. Turner. I appreciate the opportunity." He noticed the way she kept her distance, polite but guarded, like someone who had learned to build walls high enough no one could climb. "It's just Luke," he said with a small smile. "We don't do much formality here." The ranch was everything she imagined, vast, quiet and alive with the rhythm of simple living. Horses grazed lazily, chickens scratched the dirt, and in the distance, laughter echoed, the sound of children wild and free. It hit her heart before she could brace herself. 3 of them came running, a girl of about 9 with golden braids, a boy barely 6 chasing behind, and the smallest, a curly-haired toddler clutching a stuffed horse. "Daddy!" the girl shouted, throwing herself into Luke's arms. He caught her easily, his smile softening every edge of his face. "This is my crew," he said, turning to Evelyn. "Emma, Jack, and little Cole." Evelyn smiled faintly, her chest tightening as Cole's big blue eyes met hers. He stared curiously, then lifted his arms toward her. The gesture froze her. It was innocent, simple, and devastating. She hesitated, then slowly took him, feeling the tiny heartbeat against her chest. It had been years since she'd held a child. Luke saw the flicker of emotion in her eyes, but said nothing. He only nodded slightly, as if to say it's okay to feel again. Days turned into weeks. Evelyn settled into life at Turner Ranch. Early mornings with the sunrise painting the sky, long hours cleaning, cooking, helping the kids with lessons. She found peace in the rhythm, until the quiet moments brought her memories back. Late at night, she'd sit on the porch, watching the stars shimmer like promises too far to reach. Luke would sometimes join her, 2 cups of coffee between them. Silence stretching comfortably. "You're not from around here," he said one night, his voice soft but curious. She shook her head. "No, just passing through." He smiled knowingly. "No one comes all the way to Willow Creek just to pass through." She met his eyes then, blue meeting brown, 2 souls who'd both lost too much and yet dared to hope for something gentle. One morning, Emma came running into the kitchen with a drawing in hand. "Miss Evelyn, look." It was a picture. Stick figures holding hands under a big sun. "That's Daddy, that's me, Jack, Cole, and that's you." Evelyn blinked, a lump forming in her throat. "That's sweet, honey, but you should draw your mama." Emma tilted her head, her smile fading just slightly. "Mama's in heaven," she said softly. "But Daddy says God sends people to help when hearts are lonely. I think he sent you." Evelyn turned away quickly, tears burning behind her eyes. Luke stood by the door, having heard every word. For the first time, she saw that same ache mirrored in him, loss that had changed them both. That evening, when the sky bled orange and gold, Luke found her by the barn, her hands trembling as she brushed down a horse. "Emma told me what she said," he began quietly. Evelyn tried to smile, but it faltered. They're sweet kids. They deserve someone strong. You're strong, he said, stepping closer. She shook her head. You don't know me, Luke. You don't know what I can't give. He waited, letting the silence settle. Then tell me, her voice broke. I can't be a mother. I can't give you or anyone a family. There it was, the truth she'd carried like a curse. For a long moment, Luke said nothing. He just looked at her, then smiled, soft, steady, warm enough to melt the walls she'd built. Evelyn, he said gently, I've already got 3 calling you Mama in their hearts. You don't have to give me a family. You're already part of one. Her eyes widened, tears spilling before she could stop them. You don't mean that? I do, he said firmly. They need you. I need you, not because you can give us something, but because you already do. Peace, warmth, laughter. You make this house feel like home again.